YouTube, welcome back to Games Got Bored. Today, me and Chelsea are going to find out if we can save humanity. We are going to play two scientists in this 4-player game to see if we can travel around the world to find these cures for these 4 diseases before the time runs out. And we are going to do that by a game that was designed by Matt Leacock and published by Z-Man Games. Pandamic. So let's set the board game up and let's teach you guys how to play so you guys can see us save the world. What you want to do is you want to take the board out of the box and place it in the center of the table in the reach of everybody that is playing. Next, you will give each person a scientist along with the player aid card. You can do this at random, or you can have each person pick their players. Chelsea is going to play the scientist. I am going to play the medic. And we'll take 1 player aid. The rest of these people and player aids can go back into the box. Next thing you would do is you'll take the deck that has the blue cross on it, take out all 6 of the epidemic cards, place them to the side for now. You will shuffle these cards. In a 2-player game, you will deal 5 cards to each player. So that's what we were going to do. And then you'll make piles for how difficult you want it to put the epidemic. So let's go ahead and shuffle this deck and deal 5 to each player. Once everybody has their 5 cards and you made your 4 even stacks of cards, you would take an epidemic, 4 epidemics, and put on the top of each deck. Once you do that, you will shuffle each one and then stack that one on top of that one, and that deck on top of that one, then that deck on top of that one to form your deck. The rest of the epidemic cards can go back into the box. Once you've done that, you will place this deck onto where it says player deck. Next, you will get your 4 diseases, separate them, and put them in a pile next to the board. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that we separated these from each color and put them next to the board, each one comes with their color vial. You would take each one of these, match it with the color onto the board, and place them right here. So I would take yellow and place it right on yellow. So let's go ahead and do that. Next, you have this round biohazard token. This will go up here on the circles on the first circle where it says 2. Next, you will take this arrow thing, and right where it says outbreaks, you will put it on 0. Then out of these little white houses, you will take your first one and put it on the lambda for the GDC. The rest of them can go next to the board. The board is almost set up. We just got one more thing to do. Next, you will find the green deck that has the biohazard symbol on it. You will shuffle and draw 9 cards. So let's go ahead and do that. Once you have the cards separated in 9 cards in a set of 3 each one in this set, each of these places, so Washington, Johannesburg, and this one will each get 3 cubes. So I will take the yellow cubes for Johannesburg, since it's yellow, and I will put 3 cubes on Johannesburg. For each one of these, we'll get 3. Each one of these will get 2. Each one of these will get 1. So let's go ahead and set that up. Once you have put the starting infection tiles on the board according to the 9 cards that you drew, you will take the 9 cards, put them over here where it says infection discard. Take the rest of the cards and put them right here where it says infection deck. Last thing is each person will take their people, their scientists, and you guys will start in Atlanta. That is the setup of Pandemic. So let's go ahead and play the game. See you guys then. In a game of Pandemic, we are taking the role of scientists. Each scientist has their own special abilities to bring to the table, but we all share one main goal. Our goal is to find the cure for the 4 diseases before they take over the world. This game is takeover in 3 phases. First, action phase for each player. That's where the players will take their 4 actions. Second is the draw phase. After you're done doing your 4 actions, that person will draw 2 cards to add to their hand, but they might have a probability of drawing one of the epidemic cards to make things worse. Third is the infection phase, where the disease will start spreading if you don't have the cure for the disease and if it's not eradicated. So first, let's go over the first phase, the action phase. Let's look at the board and see the actions you can perform. The first action that you can do on your turn is move your pawn. But there are 4 different ways to move. The first way is to simply follow the line to the city that you are in. So I can go from Bangkok to Cayenne, or Bangkok this way, this way, this way, this way. You can move to any adjacent space to the city you are in. The second way to move is a direct flight. So you would discard a city card to move to the city named on that card. So if I was to discard this card, I will be able to move my pawn straight to that city for 1 action. So I would put this in a discard pile, and then my guy will fly straight there. That is another way you can move. The other way you can move is to discard the city that matches the city you are in to move to any city. So if I'm in Bangkok and I discarded Bangkok, I put that in a discard pile, I can move to any city on the board. So I can go from Bangkok all the way there for 1 action. The last way you move is the shuttle flight, which means if I had a research station in that city, I can move from this research station to any other research station on the board. So if I had 3 or more, I would have to choose which one I was going to. So if I had 1 in Beijing and 1 in Bangkok, I can move to either the Beijing one or the Bangkok one for 1 action. That is your move action. The next action you could do is build a research station. So if I'm in Bangkok and I discard the Bangkok card, I could build 1 research station in this city. The only way to do that is you have to discard the city card of the city that you are in. For example, I was in Bangkok, so I discarded Bangkok card to build the research station. Remember, you can also discard the city card that you are in to move to any place on the board. That is your second action you can do. Another action you could do is treat disease. So in order to do that, I would use an action to take off 1 cube. If there were if there were 3 cubes, that will cost 3 actions, 1 for each cube. If you guys have found a cure for the disease, so if this was up there, then for 1 action, I can get rid of all 3 colors, all 3 cubes in 1 action. If it has been eradicated, which that means you completely cured and found and did it, and you can do is treat disease. So for 1 action, you could take away 1 cube. So if I was at Bangkok with 3 cubes, for 3 actions, I could take away all 3 cubes, and that would leave me 1 action left. But if you guys have found the cure for the color you are trying to treat the disease for, then as 1 action, I could take away all 3 cubes. That is another action you can perform, treat disease. And the next action you can perform is share knowledge. To share knowledge, you both have to be in the same city, and I can give or take a card of that city as long as I have it or they have it. So I can either give them, the other person, Bangkok, or I could take the Bangkok card if they have it. So in order to share knowledge, you have to have you both have to be in the same city of the same card that you're giving. So if we were in Ho Chi Minh City, I could not give them Bangkok. I have to be in Bangkok to give or take another person Bangkok. That is your other action you can perform, and that is share knowledge. The last action you can perform is finding a cure for a disease. To find a cure for the disease, you have to be at a research station. Then discard 5 cards of the same color. So I got 5 yellow cards. I will take those 5 cards. I will put them here in the discard pile. Then I will come over here and I will scoop this up over the disease picture. Once you have that done and you cleared the board of all yellow cubes, that disease has successfully been eradicated and can never show up on the board again. As long as it's only cured, it can still pop up during the infection stage. So that is the 4 actions you can perform. It was move, build a research station, treat the disease, share knowledge, or find a cure. Each person gets 4 actions. You can do each one of those actions more than once, or just do 4 different actions. So now let's go to the second phase, the draw phase. The person has finished doing their 4 actions. They will draw 2 cards from the draw pile. So I will take 2 cards and put them in my hand. The max you can have is 7 cards. If you ever have more than 7 cards, you'll have to discard any amount of cards until you are down to 7. If you happen to draw an epidemic card, this goes in effect and you do not replace it. You do not draw another card if this was part of the 2 cards you were drawing. So first thing you will do is increase. You will move the infection rate marker forward 1 space. So this marker up here, you will move it over 1. Next thing you would do is infect city. So you would draw the bottom card from the infection deck and put 3 cubes on that city, then discard that card. So you would take the infection deck, draw the card on the bottom of the deck, flip it over. So I have to add 4 blue cubes to Montreal. So I'll take 3 blue cubes to Montreal. So I'll take 3 blue cubes and add them to Montreal. Last thing you will do is intensify. You will then shuffle the whole discard pile, in fact, the discard pile, and put it on top of the affection deck. So I will take all the discard cards from the affection, shuffle them, and I will put them on top of the normal draw pile. That is your drawing phase. Next thing you would do, and last thing you do before the turn will move to the next player, going clockwise, is Infect City. So here it shows the number 2. So I'll take 2 cards from the affection deck, and I will add 1 cube to those cities that matches the color of the card. So 1 cube, 1 black cube for this, and 1 blue cube for this. And then then your turn is over, and it will switch over to the next person. But last thing, let's say you had to add a cube to this place. So if you had to add anytime a place will get 4 cubes, it will cause an outbreak. When an outbreak happens, instead of it going there, 1 cube of the matching color that caused the outbreak will go to each connecting city that connects to the one that had the outbreak. So if this place had the outbreak, this gets infected, that gets infected, that gets infected, that gets infected, and that gets infected. And then you will move this down to 1 on the outbreak track. If this ever gets down to the skull, you lose the game. If you ever run out of cards, you lose the game. There is 2 ways to lose, 1 way, or 3. You will also lose if you run out of cubes of 1 color. So if we run out of black cubes, we lose the game. So there are 3 ways to lose, 1 way to win. And that is Pandemic. And yes, you can cause multiple outbreaks. So if this one got an outbreak again, 1 cube will get added to each space that it touches. You would move the infection rate or outbreak down or up 1 more. But then this will also cause an outbreak. So then more cubes will go there. And since this one is where the outbreaks originally started, you would not put another cube there. So it would not cause another outbreak. But you can have outbreak after outbreak after outbreak. And then your thing will keep moving down for each, or move up for each outbreak. So that is Pandemic. So let me reset everything and actually run through at least 1 round so you guys know how the game is played. And you'll know what we're doing when we play the game. So let's reset it and play through a round or 2. So we have the game set up. Chelsea is playing the Scientist, which she only needs 4 cards of the same color to discover a cure instead of the normal 5. Me, I am playing the Medic, which means even if the disease is not cured, I can still, for 1 action, remove all cubes of any of 1 color when doing treat disease. Automatically remove cubes of cured diseases from the city you are in. So that is good. So we have decided I am going to go first. And I get 4 actions. And looking on the board, I can see yellow has quite a bit. Black is not really worried about black. There's only 2 blacks there. Red is see, but that can cause an outbreak. That can cause an outbreak, and that can cause an outbreak. I think I will go ahead and see what I have in my hand. So I have an ability card, and these I could play at any time, and it's not count as an action. I can even play it on while Chelsea is playing. So if I discard, I get to draw and look at and rearrange the top 6 cards of the affection deck and put them back on top. So basically, when I play that card, I'll put it in a discard pile, take the top 6 cards of that, and basically rearrange them any way I want. I'll probably save that for now. And I see I have 2 blacks, 1 blue, and 1 yellow. And I need 5. So, and then Chelsea, she has 4 yellows. So she can already find a cure for yellow on her turn. So, I wouldn't know that. I mean, she could tell me what she has and tell me what she needs, but I won't be able to see her hand. This game is all about communication, so I'm just going to go ahead. She tells me that she has yellow covered. So I'm going to go ahead and head towards blue. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now usually, for 1 action, you'll take away 1 cube. But since it's his ability, I could take away all cubes for 1 action. So let's go back in there. Make sure none of the cubes run out so we don't lose the game that way. So that was my 4 actions. The next thing I'll do is I'll draw 2 cards from the draw pile. So another black. Okay. And a red. Red is not going to be doing me any good for a while because I only got 1. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Basically means I cannot draw any. Well, you always have to draw cards. You don't have a choice to not draw cards. Always draw 2 cards. And then, so that means I'm going to have to discard some cards on my next turn. And then I did my 4 actions. I drew my 2 cards. So now I will do the infection. So I'll draw 2 cards. So first one is Mexico. So 1 yellow cube will go on Mexico City. Where's Mexico City? Right there next to Los Angeles. And I'll draw another one. And a blue cube goes on to Atlanta, right where Chelsea is. And the GDC. And these 2 cards will go into the discard pile. Alright, it is now Chelsea's turn. Well, she has the 4 cards she needs to, because since she's a scientist, she only needs 4 cards of the same color to discover a cure. So she has 4, so she's going to discard these. And we now found a cure for yellow. Now but yellow can always still come back. So if we draw a yellow card from the affection deck, they will still be put on the board until we fully eradicate. To fully eradicate, you have to clear, once you find the cure for that color, you have to clear the board of that color. So the only way to eradicate it is we have to get rid of all these yellows. So now that I've seen that she has done that, I can start helping her cure it. But now, if I go here, since it's been cured, or she can go here, and since it's been cured for 1 action, she can take all these cubes away. So she is going to, that was her first action. So now she is going to try and find a cure for all these, or try to clear the board from. So that was 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Next thing she'll do is draw 2 cards. Another yellow, which she doesn't really need, but she can use that to teleport anywhere. And Epidemic. So, first thing we do on Epidemic is we raise the infection. Then we'll take this infection deck, take the bottom card, and we'll put 3 cubes on that place. So we take 3. Take 3 black cubes and place them on there. So let's find that place right there. And then once you've done that, you will take the discard pile, shuffle them up, and put them on top. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so I shuffled the discard deck and put them back on top. And this is usually when things get a little crazy because every city that has a cube on it is now on top of the deck. So this place is on top, that place is on top. So this has the potential to cause mini outbreaks because now she has to draw 2 cards. So she draws the top one, and it's so 1 black cube to that, which is right there, which already has 1 cube on it. And draw another one. And we got an outbreak because this one she just put 3 on, and that one is right there. So this outbreak marker goes up 1, and we add 1 cube to each adjacent city. And then she puts these back into the discard, and her turn is over. So that is how you play Pandemic. It gets really, really hard, really fast. Because as you saw, when you draw an Epidemic card, that can change the outcome of the game. You might think you're close, but then one outbreak happens, and which causes another outbreak, which causes another outbreak, which causes another outbreak. So if you don't lose by running out of cubes, then you're probably going to lose by running out of cards. Because this part is really, because you have to draw the cards from here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to draw 2 cards, and then if you have over 7, you got to discard. Like right now, we found a cure to 1. We're close. I mean, the only way to win is you have to eradicate all of them. So we have to find a cure for every single one and eradicate all of them. And that can be hard. Yeah, we may have found a cure for 1, but by the time we get down here, this can already have spread out, and this place could have spread out even more. It gets pretty crazy, but that is how you play Pandemic. That was 1 full round of the game. So next will be mine and Chelsea's full playthrough to see if we can actually beat it, and you can see if we have what it takes to save humanity. So I will see you guys then. I hope you guys enjoy the show. If you have any comments or questions or concerns about anything, please leave them in the comments below. And I check those every day, so I will write you back. If you have questions, I will answer them right away. So yeah, if I missed a rule or if I didn't cover something, so let me know in the comments below, and I will surely get to it. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys when we play. Actually, you guys will see us when we actually play the full game of Pandemic. So yeah, I will see you guys then. This has been Games Got Bored. Peace.